Time for sound design. In this video I will use the Amiga 500 to make a track.
Today I'm gonna continue with the Amiga 500 and see if I can make a track with it. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I made two previous videos where I explain why I bought an Amiga 500, and in the second video I show you how I get it to work in 2023 with all the challenges that it has. So in this video I'm gonna make a beat in the Amiga 500, record it into Ableton, and then build upon it with more stuff in Ableton. So let's first start with the Amiga. I already recorded a bunch of samples that I will play you now, and then we're gonna go into sequencing it. So here you see Protracker 3, and I have a bunch of samples that I have recorded from vinyl records. So first this kick, a snare, a hi-hat, electric guitar, a stab from a hip-hop record, a vocal sample,
into the dust,
clap, open hi-hat, snare, another kick, a stab from a known hip-hop record, a vocal sample,
It ain't no more to it.
another kick, another snare. So tempo is 121, so 4 to the floor. So every 4 a kick, and then I'm moving to the second track and I want to put in the snare. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. And then there was this light snare. I'm gonna put... Okay, so let's see what I have so far. Okay, that's a solid start. Let's put in a hi-hat, and let's put it on the second track as well. Basically everywhere where there's no snare. Oh. Let's play this. All right. Solid drum beat. Let's find more sounds. So every sound is pitched to the keyboard. So if you play Q, that's the root pitch. You can play it. So actually that's maybe something to do. Let's find the sound so the light snare here. So what I did now is that I pitched them up, the last two snares. So this is the root pitch, and then these are higher. This clap I can use in the third column. Let's put in 2 and see how it sounds. Yeah, sounds good. Let's put in this stab on the first and on the 30 seconds. I think I'm gonna stick mostly to percussive sounds and maybe stab sounds and effects, but not so much to melody. That's easier to add later in Ableton. I'm gonna put in the what sample.
What?
So yeah, this is a pretty solid percussive beat. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm recording this to Ableton to one track, and I'm gonna play each of these tracks individually so I can later piece it together, but I have them on separate tracks in Ableton. I will just simply mute these channels, channel 2, 3 and 4, and then we'll play through the entire pattern once for each track basically. So let's go. And the tempo of this track is 121 BPM. So if I now just go to Ableton, I should be able to piece it all together. So this is what it looks like. It doesn't look like a lot, but you can see that it's the 4 parts. So I'm gonna create 4 tracks. So starting with the first one, that was the kick. You see that it's only on the left channel because the channels of the Amiga are hard panned. So we can just use here left. And you hear that there's this little click at the end of each kick drum. That's because I didn't chop it right, but I leave it because that's the charm of the rough Amiga sound, or me being not so skilled at it. This one is the right channel, and it is the snare and hi-hat. I also didn't record them at the right tempo, that's why I have to warp them. So one thing I would like to do on the vocal sample is put some EQ. So this is a pretty solid beginning. It has a lot of punch actually. So what I'm going to do now is create a bass line and some chords with this to create a bit more of a melodic feel. All right, let's start with the bass line and let's use a analog synth from Ableton. Let's go to one of my instruments and see if I can find something that... This sounds pretty lo-fi. It's from the Casio keyboard that I sampled. So. Alright, let's create a bit of variation of this loop. We have now the drums, we have a bass and some kind of melodic elements. So let's take away some stuff and maybe add some more percussion. So let's keep the bass of the bass drum going and the actual bass. All this part 2, kick and the snare as well. Maybe the melody. snare and the hi-hat are here on the same track, which is not ideal, but I think we can cut out the hi-hats from the snare. And just keep the snare. See how that sounds? Yeah, sounds fine. What I'm thinking is to add a ride to create a bit more the groove going. A bit of variation in the last bar. The other thing to create is a intro part. So how does this beat start? I think we should start with the vocal sample, perhaps. Maybe just start with the vocal sample. Keep it very simple. Alright, so that's it for this video. So what I did is I sampled from vinyl into the Amiga 500. I sequenced the drums and the stab and the vocal sample in the Amiga. Then I recorded channel for channel into Ableton, and there I then have control over the separate channels, so I can have the kick, the snare and the hi-hat, the clap and the stab on different channels. And as you saw, then you can build on top of that, just add synthesizers, in this case in synth bass, one of my own sounds and some extra percussion to it, and really build from it. And you maintain the character of the 8-bit sampling, the roughness of the samples and the sample chopping in the Amiga, and with the little clicks and hisses and stuff. But at the same time, you can really use it as a basis. That's, I think, how I'm going to use the Amiga. I'm not going to make full tracks in Amiga. It's too limited, too cumbersome. But use it in this way where I can build up on what I make in the Amiga in Ableton and take it further. So I'm going to play it out once more. Let me know if you have any questions, and see you in the next one.